Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot, and welcome to the weekend of June 13th through June 15th. I tell you what, I cannot believe we're already halfway through June, but I am so excited about this weekend because not only do we have the blessing of Friday the 13th, but we also have a point with these square transits where basically we are sitting at a crossroads between our north and our south nodes. And this is the time where the universe is basically asking, are you ready? Now, before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys to each and every one of you for all the ways that you lift this channel up, support this channel through all the different avenues, and support each other as well as me. And I feel so blessed because of it. And I feel blessed to be on this journey with you. And so just wanted to say I love you back. So to get us started, like I was saying, as we walk into this weekend, we are blessed with Friday the 13th, which, contrary to popular belief, this is actually quite a powerful day for spiritual work, for transformation, but it also blesses us with change as we reflect on past cycles and look forward toward our future. It's a day that we align and we also honor our divine feminine energy as we resonate with Venus, our planet of love, our planet of creativity, and then also receive the nurturing amplification of the lunar cycle of the moon. And I will say too, for those that got to really take advantage of our strawberry full moon, I should say, blessings to you guys, because it's all about really amplification with that cycle, still revisiting that, not in the way of trauma necessarily, but to instead shed light. It's all about revealing, feeling, and then healing, right? And this is that point where we've gone through the full moon, we've been blessed with that release, and with its amplification on Friday the 13th, as well as that divine feminine blessings, the divine feminine energy that's really calling from within as well as from above. This is the time where, as we enter into these square transits, and I'll get into it, I promise, where we're really blessed and we're boosted up to a point and really a check-in basically and a test of, are we ready? Do we find that we need to learn more with our lessons that we signed up for in this life on this planet Earth? Or are we ready to go towards our enlightened path, our soul's journey, because our soul knows the way? And both are calling to us at this time. Both are standing there, and we are in the center at the crossroads. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because this is the time, like I say, where we're standing at the pinnacle. So in a lot of ways, you could have experienced with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse coming in with the tarot right away. Losses of opportunity, delays. Those are those lessons from Saturn, right? The instability. This is where, when your soul is crying out to you out of all the lessons that you've learned, especially along this way, along the journey, and really been amplified with that full moon in Sagittarius, this is where your fear and your soul are basically calling to you between your north and your south nodes. So if you had been experiencing delays, instabilities, fears of overlapping spending, greed, paying attention to monetary aspects, basically like fear of monetary loss, focusing on material wealth as opposed to enlightenment, right? Along your soul's journey, along your spiritual journey up until this point where you're at the crossroads. Fear of lost opportunities as well. This is the point where the moon and the Friday the 13th divine feminine energy is boosting you up, is ramping you up, and telling you that your angels, your ancestors are all here guiding you, are all here supporting you, and they're all rooting for you. And also, to side tangent on this channel, on the Honey Sea Star Tarot, we are rooting for you here as well. Because now that we're in Friday the 13th, the moon is in Capricorn. This is basically giving us an opportunity, a focus really rather, on practicality, structure, responsibility, ambition. And it will also influence our 5th house, which is our house of emotional expression, creativity, and most importantly, enjoying life's pleasures, knowing that you deserve love just for being here, without any strings attached, no matter how many people try to pull on those heartstrings in order to manipulate or take advantage. And so also too, like I say, before I get into this, the sun is in Gemini, right? it will be square, which is the sun amplifies or represents the self, the ego, us, right? And we've just been getting those downloads from Mercury as well here, basically, where the sun is getting that VIP access. We're getting VIP access granted from the sun's downloads. Excuse me, I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. But either way, the sun is in Gemini. It's giving us those downloads. We've gotten that VIP access, right? Now it's going to be sitting square with our north node as well as our south node. And so that's our path of enlightenment, our highest self, as well as the lessons that we signed up for in this life. And so literally, astrologically speaking, we are standing square in the center between two paths, right? And it's basically asking us, are we ready? Which way do you want to go? Do you want to go the path of enlightenment, right? Your soul knows the way. That's where, if you know that you're headed in that direction, when you start feeling that fear, or the body feels the fear that's creeped up in there because of it, because it's unknown, right? It's where the soul knows the journey, but the body doesn't yet. It's not something that we can plan for. It's not something that we can take practical steps towards, other than with our path of enlightenment, taking the journey of learning. And if you feel that need to pull back, I should say too, before we get into that, neither way is wrong, right? It's just up to you, because we're all gifted with free will. And so if you feel that need to pull back, if you feel like you're needing more to learn, if you're afraid of those unexpected changes, and it pulls you into a lack of focus, if you're fearful about the arrival of bad news because it doesn't have a plan that resides within the body, right? That's okay. That's why we all came to this school of life, right? Is to learn along the way. And so if you feel like you've got more to learn, that's where the South Node is really going to be pulling you as well, because those are the lessons that we signed up for in this life. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Share your story, because this is a day where, as the sun is in Gemini and it's square between our North and our South nodes, as we sit in the crossroads, it brings insights about our life path and guides us to our destiny. It's a day to focus on tackling responsibilities. It's a day to set objectives, make steady progress, and remember as well to be gentle with ourselves. Every step counts, no matter which way you go. It's the 1% every day. It's the movement forward with each and every step that brings us to our path and teaches us along the way. As much as we want to learn in this life, that's what we sign up for. It's up to us with our free will, but you got to do the work, right? And this is where, with the Nine of Staffs here right away in reverse, this is where, like I say, the test with this, as we look on Friday the 13th with our angels rooting for us, with our ancestors rooting for us and guiding us, when we step up to that plate at the crossroads and say, I'm ready, or, you know, I haven't quite mastered this yet, I just want to learn a little bit more. Dependent upon which way you go, which path you choose, there's going to be tests. And like Saturn, as with Saturn especially being in Aries right now, I don't know why I can't say that, but check that video out if you haven't seen it. But Saturn doesn't take it easy on us, right? And these tests will manifest in a multitude of different ways. The biggest tests about them, so you could be having, just to give an idea, you could be having past relationships, old friendships asking you, calling you back to a location or to relationships that were closed doors in the past. This is the time to really look at, do you want to open those doors and revisit those lessons again? Or see if you've learned, how much you've learned, and what more you need to identify to work on? Or do you want to close that door because you know that your path was not meant there, right? You've learned all that you could from that one. You're on to a new door that is undefined to you at this time. This is the moment where also too, within struggles, within triggers, it's going to be important to really step back, how to pass those tests, to breathe through them as they're triggered with emotions, with intent, because those are the two challenges that are really going to be up at the bat right now, is really to look at responding rather than reacting, to take that time of reflection, to reveal so that you can feel the fear and do it anyway, right? Feel the emotion and respond or react. And the response lets you hold your power, lets you keep your power, because it's all about harnessing and regulating your emotions, right? Reacting gives your power away. That's one of the tests that's going to come into play here. And like I say as well, the fear is going to creep up when you know that you're on the right path towards your north node, your highest self. And so again, another test that's going to be there is the aspect of frustration, especially with Saturn and Aries. This is about being tested on, okay, am I on the right path, or do I go back to comfort, right? Do I stay on in a place, head towards a place of unknown that makes me feel uneasy, where there may be a struggle to achieve my goals? That's the test where it's really going to put those hurdles up in play for you. Do I give up and go towards a more comforting aspect, what I know already? Or do I head to a place with my stubbornness and utilize it as stubbornness is meant to be made and meant to be utilized, and head towards the unknown and trust not only in divine timing, but also trust in the inner self? And this is where your intuition will be trusted, right? This is where also too your intuition will be tested. And it's going to look at, the universe is going to ask you, okay, how much are you listening and trusting that your soul knows the way? And so this is really about resonation, right? What are you vibrating at? What energy are you vibrating with? And so as you're tested with your intuition during this time as well, with these square transits, this is a time to really step into that Virgoan energy. Like I say, focus on tackling responsibilities, stepping up to the plate, feeling the fear, and doing it anyway. And two, aligning with that intuition, that knowing that your soul, I'll say it again, your soul knows the way. And the simple aspect in that, and how you know how you're resonating, how you know you're aligned, is really looking at not only, so I guess the best example that comes to mind for me right now off the top of the head is, say you're about to leave the house and you misplace your keys and you're like, oh my goodness, where did I put my keys? Jeepers. When you stop and you align your soul, your spirit, and your body with the energy, when you call to the keys, right? When you align yourself with the keys, you'll feel yourself drawn to, say, that the pantry where you accidentally put them down because you were looking at your grocery list. This is just off the top of the head here. You're called to the pantry for whatever reason. You don't know why, but you're just going there, and your body is aligned, your soul's aligned, your spirit is aligned. You're trusting that your soul knows exactly what's going on, where it's leading you. And so you allow your body to feel it and move with it. And all of a sudden you open that pantry door and there they are. Were they supposed to be where they were? Probably. Were they where they were? No. But that's about that alignment. And those are those little tests, those little synchronicities that'll really tell you and instill that faith that truly now is the time to trust your intuition, because your soul is guiding you. Your soul always is guiding you. And during this time as well, so on the 14th, the moon is going to be moving to Aquarius. It happens to also be sextile with Saturn and with Neptune, and then also conjunct with Pluto, which is, of course, in Aquarius during this time. Sorry, I dropped my little side light here. Jeepers. But this is the time where it presents a dynamic combination of energy. So it can have significant impacts for Virgos in areas of work, as well as service and daily routines. But this alignment also encourages us to listen to our intuition and pursue our true calling. And so again, this is where truly we're at the crossroads this weekend. Neither pathway is wrong. It just depends on what you want in your free will. Right? And so this alignment encourages us not only to listen to our intuition, but pursue our true calling. That's our north node. It's all about building the brand new world, and especially at a macro level with the collective. I want to be careful with my words here because, of course, there's higher powers that, I don't want to influence anyone in their decisions, and I want people to utilize their discernment. But really, this is the time where it's all about building a brand new world, no matter which sign you're in. And at that crossroads at a macro level, what truly is happening as Pluto is in this age of Aquarius, the golden age, we have an opportunity to rise to our north nodes, through peace, through collective, through opening and shaking things up in the way that paves a new path towards enlightenment and betterment for everyone. Or we have the South Node, where we want to choose to learn more lessons, where we have more to learn, right? More with the presence of conflict, more with chaos, more with friction, competition. Looking at how we deal with disagreements or rivalry, how we organize that chaos, or do we choose a path of peace, right? And so quite literally, and at a spiritual level, it's really about choosing at that macro level with building this brand new world with this opportunity. Do we choose a new earth, or do we choose a new world order? It takes all of us either way. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Share your thoughts in the comments below. But this alignment really is all about presenting an opportunity to us to contribute, especially with Virgos, to positive change in the world in a tangible way through our acts of service and forward-looking ideas. And I'm not surprised that the High Priestess came out, because again, what Spirit is saying with the energy and with the tarot is this is the time to let your intuition guide you. Your discernment is key. Ruminating on your spirituality, looking at the path of enlightenment. What more, identifying what more do I want to learn? Do I feel I need to learn before I move forward? Or taking not a leap of faith, but taking the trust that's needed, the self-love that's needed, that develops that trust with following our intuition, because again, our soul knows the way. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because this is the time as well where Pluto will also be in our 6th house, which is our house of service and our house of work. And so it triggers an event that clarifies our purpose as Virgos and triggers an event that clarifies our destiny. Now, as the universe always loves to do, this, tests would not be tests if they weren't difficult, right? It's going to require sacrifice that leads to enlightenment. And as Virgos, each and every one of us signed up to be, as one of the 12 zodiacs, as a Virgo, we signed up to be the spiritual healers, the teachers. And so especially with Pluto being in the age of Aquarius, especially with it looking at our 6th house, it shakes things up in the way at the macro level, really, where it looks at presenting a new way. Putting order to chaos is what we do best. But do we just go again with the New World Order where, without question we follow because there's this figurative order that we've been programmed or preconditioned to receive without question? Or do we uncover that, which is what Pluto's job really does, is it uncovers and shakes things up, goes against the grain when it comes to the status quo. And instead, as healers, as teachers for the souls, for the collective in all the zodiacs, do we present a way that's different, right? Do we collectively go against or uncover and realize, unleash and go beneath the veil, really, on where we were presented with only one way, and look at it and realize the cost, right? The cost that's involved with it through the manipulations, the exploitations, the manipulations. Also, too, looking at how they're limited options, right, that are only meant to really provide for us not only one way, but an enslavement in a lot of ways towards sacrifice that is not for the betterment of everyone? Or do we present a way in our forward thinking, in organizing chaos, that presents a new way? Not just one, but just a way. We're only here as the sign of service to really open the door, but each and every one of us has free will. And with the Hanged Man, this is signing up for that service, for that role. And it takes sacrifice, right? It unleashes those restraints. But the path of the Hanged Man really is the path of enlightenment. And this is where, like I say, looking at the Nine of Swords coming out, we're at a crossroads. Neither one is wrong. But what I'm getting in these cards is that the biggest challenge that we'll see is our challenge with perfection, right? The self-doubt, knowing to trust ourselves, overcoming the fears, as they choose to try and cause us anxiety, cause us guilt, cause us nightmares, or even lack of sleep. Feel the fear. And so it's all about, especially for Virgos, what we're here as a sign of service to do for the collective, to help the collective, is to reveal, to feel, to show the way of feeling, and to help heal. And like I say, if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Now, on a personal level, when you're going down to the micro level, for each and every one of us, with Pluto being in our 6th house now, this is really about, and don't be surprised, because life tests are not easy, right? That's why we're here. That this may also, as it triggers events that help clarify our purpose and our destiny, it potentially may lead to turning life upside down. And this change, embracing this change, is really about and meant to realign you to your true path and your true calling. Now, as that manifests, be aware that Saturn is not one to take it easy on us. So this could be manifesting in a way of health crisis in one shape or another, whether it be mental, physical, etc. Overworking, right? On imbalance and work-life balance, even in your relationships. So this is a time to really be aware, because it's going to force Virgos to really prioritize our well-being and redirect ourselves towards a path of healing. And again, it's all about revealing, feeling, and then healing. And as we heal ourselves, we're able to help heal others. And that is our true blessing as being a Virgos, as well as, like I say, from the inner world to our world around us, putting order to chaos by providing a way. And again, for me, I will be honest, the hardest lesson that I've had to learn, and it's been very painful in my life, and not without sacrifice, and certainly not without a lot of challenges. Let's just go there. But we can't do the work for anyone else. As a teacher, you can spread knowledge. That's what we're meant to do. But we're not meant to make the choice for anyone else, right? Only ourselves. That is the true path of healing. It's providing a way rather than forcing people into the way, the only way that's offered, right? And with the Two of Cups, again, this is going to be looking at, what I see in a lot of ways is that Venus as well is going to come into this test with this square. So it's all about looking at the triggering of unbalanced relationships, disharmony that you're seeing not only at a macro level, but also at a micro level too. So you could see temporary conflicts, quarrels, misjudgment, misrepresentations, distrust, especially when it comes to your intuition. Now is the time to trust your intuition, trust that inner self, because Pluto's going to be looking for ways to shake things up and trigger events that really help us clarify our purpose and our destiny. And like I say, it's going to also help with redirecting us on a path of healing away from unbalance. This speaks a lot to the heart chakra. So if for whatever reason you've been having to, or feeling that your heart is really closed off or has been cluttered with chaos, right? One of our benefits, one of our blessings, our highest levels of vibration that we offer in our gifts is really putting order to chaos. And so it's actively knowing that you indeed are, even though we're hermits, you are supported. You're a divine vessel of love. You are a vessel created of love and for love. And truly to be grateful for all that is, all that was, and all that's on its way helps us realign, because we're all transmitters, right? In energetic fields, we align, we resonate. And so this helps us with resonating so that we can not only clear that heart chakra, but resonate for what's truly meant for us. This is the time where destiny is calling, right? This is also the time where your path of healing is calling, your purpose, your destiny. I'm just saying I love it. And this is also where walking into that resonance, focusing on raising your vibration during this time, especially as it's triggered. Again, it's about responding, not reacting. Harnessing and regulating your emotions so that you can walk with intent and take action with that Aries energy, as well as embrace the emotions, the vision, the dreams of that Piscean energy. Opens up that solar plexus. And this is about standing in your confidence of who you are, why you're here, what you are, and knowing that you truly are enough. You're ready for whichever path you choose. You're ready. And this is walking forward with raising that vibration, with regulating your vibrations, with holding that vibration, because you hold the power when you regulate, when you respond, not react. And looking at this with optimism, knowing the power that you hold and holding that inner self, that self-love that leads to self-confidence. This is also standing in the way where your mind is strong as well, with clear thinking, standing with your will that you have, and knowing that you have free will to choose, but also have the free will to choose with your feet firm on the ground. This is also about standing in action, in creativity, but also standing with your vision, with your 10 toes on the ground, grounded to your root chakra and grounded in your purpose, grounded in your foundation in all places of your life. And even though your soul knows the way, if you choose to go towards your enlightened self, if you pass these tests this weekend and you choose your north node and realign to your true path, because this is what the universe is wanting us to do and pointing us that way, right? And like I say too, I just want to remind you, this is free will. We all are gifted with free will. Neither way is wrong. If you decide that you've got more to learn, that's perfectly perfect. That is just okay, right as it is, just as you are. So there's not anything wrong with either way, right? But the universe is going to be nudging us Virgos in particular to head towards that north node. And this is about truly standing 10 toes on the ground. And it's standing with 10 toes about being a sign of service in our 6th house with work, and also as the sign, I should say, as the people, the collective, that truly are meant to gift healing, to help people heal, to help souls heal along their journey in this life. And if that resonates, like I say, like, share, subscribe. Let's get this message out to as many Virgos as we can, because this is all about holding your center, but also leading people back, because we're standing in the middle of the crossroads. This is also, I mean, what I'm getting most about this is that, again, the north and the south node, but really what it looks at is your fire energy, your air energy, and then also balancing that with your earth energy and your water energy. This is harnessing all elements and standing in the middle in complete harmony, utilizing all the resources around us, putting order to chaos, and aligning with our centers. I absolutely love it. I'm just saying, I've got goosebumps. Now, on the 15th, as we close out this weekend, we walk into this next week. Mars is going to be in Leo, and it happens to be square with Uranus, which is in Taurus. Jupiter, which is in Cancer, if you haven't seen that video, check it out, because for this next year, this is where, for Virgos, especially with our 11th house being activated in relationships, this is a year of blessings for us. Jupiter's kiss is here to lift us up and help us succeed. And so Jupiter is also going to be square with Saturn, our planet of lessons, karma, right? And it's in Aries. Check that video out if you haven't seen that too. But it presents a dynamic landscape for us on the 15th. And so it brings us a mix of challenges and opportunities, not only with work, but with self-expression. This is about standing in that energy and not only opening and aligning, speaking, using your voice, but using your acts of service, your forward thinking to invoke positive change in the world in tangible ways, in tangible results. And so don't be surprised, though, with this energy, with this dynamic landscape that kind of comes at us on the 15th, that as we've been built up on the 13th, as we're getting that pep talk from our ancestors, from our ancient ones, from our angels, with guiding us, guiding the way for us, right? Leading our soul on our highest soul's journey to our path of enlightenment. On the 15th, the universe is saying, okay, are you ready? Let's go. And so no pressure, but this is where this energy may push you beyond limits. It may also feel challenging. I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy, but with challenge comes change. And with challenge, it also brings growth. It leads us to significant personal and professional opportunities as well, if you choose to open the door. And if that resonates, by all means, like I say, share what you're working on, share what you're enlightened to as well, what your struggles are, what fears are cropping up during this time, because this universe, like I say with the tarot, is totally rooting you on with Jupiter's kiss and Jupiter's blessing. This is also about opening your throat chakra, right? Learning to speak when needed, but also learning to listen and be heard. Let others be heard and lift people up, because it's all about revealing, feeling, and then healing. Your soul knows the way. And this is where truly material success, wishes come true, abundance with Jupiter's energy, happiness, all come into play. So as we're pushed beyond limits, as we're broken out of our comfort zone during the 15th, it leads to, again, significant personal and professional opportunities. And this is the time truly where communication is going to be key. So as well as connecting with people like minds, this is the time to align, to really focus on that inner world of resonation, right? On what you're vibrating with, what you're vibrating towards. And it's towards your long-term goals and towards your path, towards your purpose. Because again, the universe is nudging us Virgos, and this is a very limited window, right? Where it's basically the universe is opening a window for us to walk towards that path, towards our destiny, towards our place of peace and our path of enlightenment. And so now is the time as Virgos, especially with Pluto being in our 6th house, it's time to be mindful. So on our south side of Virgo, just speaking at a collective level, one of the things that can really be a struggle for us is analysis paralysis, which Gemini Sun is kind of challenging us with at this time, but also too, to not move until we have everything perfect, right? And it leads to that analysis paralysis. This is the time to not only be mindful, but also adaptable, focused. That's going to help you with overcoming these tests, with passing these tests and overcoming these obstacles. It's really, because it's going to challenge you, what I'm getting most is it's going to challenge you basically to keep up as a sign of service in your work, in invoking positive changes, in contribution in tangible ways for the world as we lead, as we help heal, as we help teach, or to be challenged into going back into and retreating and saying, okay, we've got more to learn, especially with that throat chakra, especially with our solar plexus chakra, and retreating back into our shell, into our hermit zone, right, where we can really go back into a place of learning, seek enlightenment, seek mentorship. And again, neither path is wrong. It's what's up for you. It's up to you as for what's the best move, right? This is, though, what I'm seeing, who I'm talking with, and what Spirit really wants you to embrace and is encouraging you at this time to do, is truly to embrace that Capricorn moon energy, because you are being supported in that divine feminine energy, right? But this is where you're charging forward with the Knight of Swords towards the visionary energy of the Aquarius, towards the age of Aquarius, of enlightenment. It's double air here as well that you're working with. But with swords, this is basically charging towards the conflict, charging towards the issues, facing the fear, and doing it anyway. And you are a brave warrior at this time. You are a spirit warrior. This is where Spirit really wants you to know that you've got the intelligence, you've got the quick wit, you've got the ambition. You're also an advocate for not only yourself, but as a sign of service for others. And so what we're really challenged with on the 15th is basically, do you want to go back into your shell, or instead prioritize standing up, standing out, and standing for others 10 toes down? And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, share your thoughts, like, share, subscribe. If you need some pick-me-up too, check out the Honey Sea Star store. All the words, all the designs are meant to uplift, to inspire, and empower you, as well as know, or help you know, I should say, that you are supported here on this channel within this Honey Sea Star family. Because with the Three of Cups, this is all about victory, celebration, support, friendship, social events, community support, coming together, because unity is our strength, but knowing that you are supported in the way that you have sincere allies. Now, spoiler alert as well, Mars being in Leo, with it being square with Uranus, it'll force you to break free from rigidity, right? That analysis paralysis, that need to not move until perfection is made. and instead walk towards the idea of adaptability, of flowing with the soul, with the lessons along your journey, and in embracing your imperfections, because knowing your imperfections, trusting and loving your imperfections is all about basically knowing that you are imperfectly perfect, just as you are, just as you're meant to be, right? That's why you were created just as you are, and there's no one like you in this world. Even twins have their subtleties, have their individual needs, wants, drives, and lessons that they sign up for, right? They're just signing up to go through it together. But with this square aspect between Mars and Uranus, it'll force us to really break free from that rigidity of perfection or the need of perfectionism. And it'll also be a catalyst to really stand 10 toes deep as a service and stand out, stand up for, and stand for others rather than go into hermit mode. And basically tackle difficulties head on in order to balance and find balance between stability and liberation. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, because you have a synthesis coming in. This is all about standing in your creativity, balancing the dynamics, right? Knowing that your shadow is also your light. It's also your strength. It's also your passions. This is about turning those wounds to wisdom, and that is true. That is the truth of a Virgo on their path of enlightenment, right? That's how we walk forward to our highest enlightened self. Through that growth, through that expression, but also too opening that window for others as an opportunity that there's not just one way. Here's a way if you choose to take it. And if that resonates, like I say, let me know in the comments below, because what Spirit is saying is this is the time that as you find balance between stability and liberation, it'll help you with passing this test. Spoiler alert as well, Mars is also going to be moving this next week on June 17th into Virgo. So if communication, especially when it comes to your throat chakra, with your solar plexus, or even with your heart chakra, expression, right? Expressing your needs, your desires, especially as you align with your purpose, your path, your destiny. So Mars is going to be moving into Virgo. So your communication and your articulation will be sharpened this next week. And it'll also be sharpened with a greater appreciation in your journey and in your connections as you walk towards servant leadership and as you walk the path and embrace your path as a healer. And this is all about standing in that Virgoan energy. Like I say, this is also about standing in 10 toes down with that root energy, with that earth energy, and with your heart chakra aligned on your path, in your purpose, building a brand new world. This is about success, prosperity, everything that basically is talking about your path of enlightenment, embracing your intuition, trusting your soul, trusting your inner gut, right? Your inner movement to lead you towards that path of enlightenment, to harness and regulate your emotions, to walk with intent and emotion, because we are transmitters, and that's how we resonate. That's how we vibrate. That's how we gain our confidence. That's how we gain our self-discipline, right? Through that regulation, we hold that power. It gives us that inner peace as well as allows us to stand in our independence, but it also is aligning us towards good news that comes towards us once we embrace it and walk towards it and align with it. This is also about and speaking towards your material comforts. So again, as we tackle liberation and stability, if you've been fearful of the instability, because again, the soul's journey, the body doesn't know. The body isn't meant to remember. So it's not a leap of faith. It's about trusting the self, trusting the soul, and trusting that your soul and your intuition know the way. Your intuition is your soul communicating to the body as to what way to go. This is where, even though you've been worried about the securities, the material comforts, this is instead knowing that by opening and taking that door, right? Choosing the path of your north node, good news is meant for you. Success is meant for you. This is your path of peace as well as prosperity, but it leads towards enjoying the fruits of your labor and your material comforts. This is coming into a place of completion with the 9. This is the achievement of your goals, our ultimate soul's journey goals, and integration, the path of the healer, that Virgos sign up for as a collective in this lifetime. And it's the end of the cycle when it comes to lessons learned. I'm just saying, I absolutely love it. And again, I have got goosebumps. Now, also too, as a side tangent for all my divine masculines, I know I've been talking so much about divine feminine energy, especially with the full moon and especially with Friday the 13th here, but June 15th, this Sunday, also happens to be Father's Day. So to each and every one of you, to all your fathers, to all the fathers that are meant to come, right, as you develop and grow and come of that age, happy Father's Day. I am just saying, and if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below for all our divine masculines and all their beauty and all their soul's temple energy, because with our ancestors' messages here, with our spirit totems, Spirit really wants us to know that now is the time to rise above those earthly matters with the giraffe. This is about being the visionary, gliding through life with grace towards your north node. You've got this. Now, like I say, either way is okay. Neither way is wrong. We all sign up for our lessons, and each of us have our own lessons to learn in this life. So I'm not trying to push you in one way or the other. That is up to you because you have the power of free will. But what Spirit wants you to know, what your ancestors want you to know, what your angels wants you to know, especially with Friday the 13th, when we're all rooting for you, is that you're able to see the right path. Now is the time to stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart, because it's emotion and intent that align us with our soul's journey. And prosperity is meant for you. It's time to let go of the past, let go of the traumas that get stuck in the body, and embrace change. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy, because abundance and good fortune are waiting for you. And with the bee, oh my goodness, that fell out. With the bee, sorry, but it's all about reminding yourself, knowing that with your intuition, as a Virgo, as the spiritual teacher and healer of the zodiac, you are a powerful creator. And as you resonate, as you align with your higher self, your work blesses everything you touch. Now is the time to be open and receive the sweetness, because you are the queen, and divine masculines, you are the king of abundance. And if that resonates, like I say, put a heart in the comments below, like, share, subscribe. That way we can get this message out and lift as many Virgos up to realign to their path, to their purpose with this message, because destiny is calling this weekend. And then I do want to look at our major arcana. And you know, this is really funny. The same thing happened with the full moon, but we did not receive any major arcanas in this. There are no major life lessons with these tests. What that tells me is that you truly are meant for this completion. You are going to pass these tests no matter which way you choose. If you choose to want to learn more, that's the beauty of our free will, right? But what I'm seeing that our angels, our ancestors are saying is that you are ready. The universe, especially with these square aspects, are saying you are ready to help build a brand new world through services, through acts of service, especially with Pluto hitting our 6th house this weekend, through your forward-looking ideas, through putting order to chaos, or organization, I should say. Order is the wrong word. Putting organization, don't know why I can't say that all of a sudden, to chaos. And more importantly, embracing the inner self, the inner intuition, the inner love, and the inner trust that not only does your soul know the way, but wishes, abundance, success are meant for you. Wishes do come true. I absolutely love this reading. I am just saying, and I will say it again, happy Father's Day to all my divine masculines this Sunday. I am sending all my love and light to you. Please take care, and I will see you in the next reading.